welcome to yoga. So for your practice today we'll need plenty of props. So I've got a yoga bolster and you'll either need a couple of cushions or some yoga blocks as well. So when you've got all your props together, you'll just find a comfortable seat. So I'm going to start cross-legged, sitting up on a couple of cushions. We're going to start with a breathing exercise today. So if you're more comfortable sitting in a chair or kneeling, then that's fine too. But try and find a position that allows you to sit comfortably, as we'll be here for a few minutes. So however you're sitting, make sure you've got a nice tall posture. So comfortably sitting up. Then take your attention to your breath. And just notice how you're breathing naturally to begin with. So our breath can be a really powerful tool for changing the way we feel. And sort of the bridge between how the body behaves automatically and how we behave in a voluntary way. So we can't choose what makes us feel stressed, but we can choose how we breathe. And in changing our breathing, we can change or adjust our physiology so we can manage our response to stressful situations. So we're going to start today with a breathing exercise called the square breath. So this will be, it's called the square breath as you can visualize the breath moving around the four sides of a square. So we'll inhale and then we'll pause, and then we'll exhale and then we'll pause, and then we'll continue that for a few rounds. So first of all, just sitting, noticing your breath. And as you breathe in, feel that sort of lifting through the chest, rising up through the crown of the head. And then as you breathe out, let your shoulders soften down away from your ears. So using your breath to maintain that nice tall posture. And as you breathe in, you can almost visualize your ribs lifting up away from your pelvis. And as you breathe out, shoulders soften down, but also shoulder blades moving slightly towards each other. So we'll all breathe out together. And then we'll breathe in for the count of 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath for 2, 3, 4, and breathe out 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe in 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath 2, 3, 4. Breathe in 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath 2, 3, 4. Just continue with that breath for 3 more rounds at your own speed. If it's comfortable, you can lengthen each of the sections, but try to keep each of the sections the same length. Bringing your full attention to the breath. Maintaining that nice tall posture. And then after your next breath out, return to a normal breath. Sitting for a moment, maybe noticing if you can already feel a change in how you're feeling. And we'll stay sitting how we were, We're going to bring in some movement into the body now. So as we inhale, we'll take our arms out to the side. Think about opening up through the front of the body. So top of the pelvis tilts forward slightly. Heart lifts. Maybe take the chin up as well. And then as you exhale, start to round the spine. So we'll reach forward with the hands and then give yourself a little hug. So drop your chin towards your chest as your hands come round towards your shoulders. And we'll inhale. Opening up. Exhale, rounding, closing up. Hands to shoulders, chin to chest. Inhale. So a few rounds of this, moving at your own speed. So let the speed of your breath guide your movement. And one more breath out. And then just returning to your comfortable seat. So if you're not already sitting cross-legged, come onto the floor or onto your mat into a cross-legged seat. And we'll start by having our right leg in front of the left. And sitting up nice and tall. If you want to sit up on a cushion, that can sometimes help you with that nice tall posture, but try not to sit up too high. So when you're ready, bring the hands in front of the legs. So fingertips to the floor. Gently push down into the fingers as you tip the top of your pelvis forward and lift your heart. And then we'll start to walk the hands forward. So make sure your sit bones stay grounded on the floor. So if they start to lift, then you've come far enough forward. And when you've walked the hands as far forward as they want to come, you can start to bow your head forward as well. Gently turn the head from side to side. So try to relax your neck. And as gravity guides the weight of your head down towards the floor, hopefully you'll get a nice gentle stretch through the back of the neck, maybe through the tops of the shoulders as well. Now we're going to start to walk our hands over to the left side. We keep walking those hands over. And keep your right knee guiding down towards the floor. So you might find that as the hands come over to the left, that right knee wants to start to lift up off the floor. But see if you can encourage it down onto the floor. So opening into that right hip. Edging those right fingertips away from you, so you're getting a stretch all the way down the right side of the body. Keep your neck nice and soft. Keep breathing deeply. So each time you breathe in, the lungs fill with air, and as the lungs expand, you get that nice stretch, making space between the ribs. You lift your gaze slightly. You're going to keep walking the hands round. So your left hand plants on the mat right in line with your hips. Reach your right arm out to that side again, finding that stretch all the way down the side of the body, straightening that arm as much as you can. And we're going to start to spin the rib cage so your right shoulder comes back and your right arm is reaching up and overhead. So push your left hand down into the floor. You can keep a slight bend in your elbow. Try and keep your neck soft. Again, sometimes moving chin from side to side can encourage us to let go of tension in the neck and the jaw. One more breath, reaching out a little bit further. And then gently engage your core, push down into that hand as we come all the way up to center. Inhale, take the arms out to the side. You're going to come into a twist. You're going to twist to your right. Try and sit up really nice and tall, and then as you breathe out, lead with that right hand as we move into our twist. And then when you've moved as far as you can, just with your core, you're going to bring the hands down So right hand comes behind, left hand comes to your right knee. That hand that's behind you, have it quite close in towards your lower back. So as you push down into that hand, you can lift up through the crown of the head and keep the spine nice and straight. And then as you breathe out, think about drawing your navel in towards your spine so you keep that nice tall posture. Draw your shoulders back as you push your heart forward. Maybe take your gaze over that back shoulder as well. One more breath in your twist, sitting tall as you breathe in, breathing out to take the gaze behind you. And then bring your gaze back to front. Let your arms unravel. Maybe shrug the shoulders when you get back to center. And then take your right leg and extend it out to the side. So we're coming into a half butterfly. If you want to put some support under that knee, if it's sort of hanging in space and it feels like it needs some support, then please feel free to do that. I'll take the hands in front. Once again, pushing down into the fingertips to lift your heart. Find that anterior tilt of your pelvis. Maybe gently flex that right foot. So hopefully finding a nice stretch down the inside of that leg. And then we can start to walk the hands out once again. And when you've walked the hands as far forward as they want to come, you can start to bow your head forwards as well. So one more complete breath. And slowly start to walk the hands back towards you, lifting the chest. And take your right arm, turn the palm of the hand up and let your forearm rest on that right leg. Take a deep breath in as you take your left arm out to the side and then start to reach up and maybe over as well. As you reach over, maybe your right hand slides down towards your foot. Reaching out through fingertips, straightening that top arm as much as you can. Breathing into the side of the body. So each time you breathe in, maybe stretching out a bit further. Each time you breathe out, softening down. Try and lean back a little bit into that top shoulder. So it's like you're spinning the underside of your ribcage forwards. Take that nice stretch all the way down the left side of the body. One more breath. And then we'll breathe in to lift up, come back through center and take your left hand down to the floor behind you. So sort of diagonally behind the hips and then inhale, lift up with that right hand. So you can stay there, or if you want a little bit more, you can push down into this left knee and start to lift your hips as well. So squeeze the glutes to find height through the hips. And then that right hand reaches all the way up. Maybe look to that hand behind you. Think about spinning your chest towards the ceiling. One more breath. Maybe lifting the hips a little bit higher. And then exhale, slowly bringing hips back to the floor if they were lifted. You can take the hands to the floor as we cross the legs again, but this time we'll take the left leg in front of the right. Coming back to that comfortable seat, sitting nice and tall, crown of the head lifting, and then we'll take hands down to the floor. Push down into the hands to draw your heart forwards, and start to walk the hands out. And keep length through the arms, keep your sit bones grounding down into the mat or into your cushion, and then we can start to bow the head forward. And take a moment to encourage your neck to relax. Maybe moving the chin from side to side to help to release tension there. Keeping a nice steady breath. And then we'll start to walk the hands around to the right. So hands sort of diagonally forwards, finding that length, that stretch all the way down the left side of the body. Notice if your left knee wants to lift up away from the floor, and try and encourage it to stay down, so opening up through that left hip. Maybe edging your left fingertips a little bit further away. And keep walking the hands around now until your right hand is in line with your hips. Take a slight bend in that elbow and then reach your left hand all the way over to the right and start to spin the rib cage. So lifting up through that left shoulder, straightening through your left arm. Maybe take the gaze up as well. Nice deep breath in. Breathing out to soften. And then on your next breath in, we're going to lift up through center. Take the arms out to the side. And then exhale, sitting nice and tall, twisting to your left. Again, as you breathe out, bring your navel in towards your spine, which is going to encourage you to sit nice and tall. And then when you've twisted as far as you can, left hand comes behind, right hand comes towards your left knee. So push that hand down into the floor behind you to sit taller. And then as you breathe out, keep sitting tall as you draw your shoulders back. Try and push your heart forwards. Maybe take that gaze behind you. So finding as much length as you can to sit up tall. And using your arms and your core to help move you into that twist. Bring your gaze back to center. Release the arms, and we're going to take that left leg all the way out to the side. So again, nice straight leg, toes pointing up, fingertips to the floor in front of you. Inhale to lift the heart, slight forward tilt of your pelvis, and we'll start to walk the hands out. Again, keep this foot gently flexed. Find that nice stretch all the way down the inside of the leg. And once again, you can start to relax the neck as we bow the head forwards. Keeping your breath slow and steady. And we'll walk the hands back in towards the body. Take your left arm, turn the palm of the hand up and rest your forearm on your leg. And inhale, take your right arm out to the side, reaching up nice and straight through that arm, and then moving into your side stretch. So keep open through the chest. So leaning back into that top shoulder, straightening through the arm. Finding length as you breathe in. Maybe softening over into your side stretch as you breathe out. One more breath. And then as we breathe in, slowly lift back up through center. Your left arm is right arm is going to come behind you. So plant your hand diagonally behind the hips and then inhale, take your left hand up. You can stay there or you can start to lift the hips. So pushing down into your right knee. Squeeze the glutes to lift the hips and then take that hand up and behind you. Maybe lift your chin, push down into your right hand to lift the chest. One more breath. And exhale. Slowly bring the hips back down. Come back to your cross-legged seat. Take a deep breath in and out, softening through the shoulders as you breathe out. Slowly coming to kneeling now. So we're going to come all the way over into a child's pose. So you can roll over your knees like this, or you can bring the knees out to the sides, but we'll bring big toes together, knees nice and wide, and then start to walk your hands all the way to the front of your mat. So keep your hips back towards your heels, forehead to the floor. Deep breath into the hips. Maybe gently swaying the upper body from side to side. And then we'll walk our hands over to the right. So as you walk your hands over, your body can move as well. So your body's going to track in line with that right thigh. Walk the hands as far over as you need to get that nice stretch all the way down the left side of the body. Try and soften the right side of your chest, left side of your chest, left armpit down towards the floor. And we'll walk hands back to center and all the way over to the left side. So keep the arms nice and long, keep walking the hands over. Finding that stretch down the right side of the body this time. And maybe turning the right side of the chest down towards the floor. And then walk hands all the way back to center. And you can walk the hands in towards you, come to kneeling. And from kneeling, we're going to slide off onto our right hip. And then we're going to take our bolster and maybe a couple of cushions or a yoga block. And we're going to set up for our next couple of poses. So if you haven't got a bolster, you can obviously use a rolled up blanket or a towel or something in a similar shape. And then you're going to take your block or your cushions under one end of the bolster so it's slightly raised. And then come back down onto your right hip. So you're going to sit just in front of the bolster and with your legs in this zigzag shape. So right hip next to the bolster, right foot near your left knee. You sit nice and tall, try and ground your knees down as much as you can. Lengthening up through the spine and then take both of your hands round to either side of the bolster. So you can push down into the hands. You might already feel a nice strong twist all the way up the body. And then we'll start to walk the hands out. So you're going to try and lay the front of your chest down on your bolster. You can bring the forearms down. So maybe your head rests in the same direction as your knees. Or maybe you start here. If that's not enough of a twist for you, then you can take your gaze in the opposite direction. We're going to be here for a couple of minutes. So you will start to open up into this twist quite a lot. So if it's quite an intense stretch to begin with, just breathe into it. And as the stretch starts to dissipate, you can start to lift the chest, sort of reset yourself to bring you back into that nice deep twist. So once the sensation of the stretch starts to fade, maybe you lift yourself up, turn the center of your chest down towards the bolster again, and lay down. Relaxing your upper body as much as you can. So let your body be supported by the props underneath you. Breathing slowly. If you want a little bit more from this stretch, you can adjust your legs as well. So you can move your left knee back, maybe bring your right foot out a bit as well. Notice how that changes the sensation of the stretch as well. Slowing down your breath, and particularly as you breathe out, think about relaxing, letting go of tension, softening into the pose. One final breath in your twist. Start to push down into the arms to lift the chest. You can walk the hands back in towards the hips and slowly and mindfully lift the knees as well. So coming to face the front of your mat. You take a couple of windscreen wiper motions with the legs, so stepping the feet apart. You can lower the knees down to one side and then the other. And then sometimes it can feel nice to come into a little bit of a back bend after that pose. So you can push down into the hands and start to lift the chest as we draw the shoulders back. And then we'll come into that nice twist on the other side. So this time your left hip is going to sit just behind your bolster. Find that position of the legs, sitting up nice and tall. And then twisting, spinning your rib cage, taking one hand to either side of your bolster and your cushions. Pushing down into your hands to find that nice deep rotation. And then when you're ready, slowly start to walk your hands away from you as you come to lay your body down on your bolster. So finding that nice support from the floor and from your cushions. Breathing slowly and steadily. Notice if you're holding yourself with your arms, and try as much as you can just to relax them and let the props underneath you support the body. If that sensation of the twist has started to dissipate a little bit, you can always push yourself up a little bit. Turn your chest once again, so find that twist. Let the right side of your chest spin down towards the floor. And reset yourself. And again, you can make that adjustment with the legs as well if you'd like a little bit more of a twist. So you can take your left knee back, your right knee back, and move your left foot away from that knee as well. Final couple of breaths in your twist. And then pushing down into the hands and the forearms. Lift your chest. Walk the hands back towards you. Lift your knees and turn to face the front of your mat again. Once again, you can windscreen wiper the knees from one side to the other. Maybe bring yourself into a little bit of a back bend. Push down into the hands to lift the chest and the chin. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other. And then come back to center. And making sure you're sitting a little distance in front of your bolster. And start to walk the hands back So laying down with your back supported. If you find your chin is lifted, you can maybe put an extra cushion behind the head. So with your legs, you can either keep them in constructive rest with the feet stepped wide and the knees resting in towards each other, or you can take the knees out to the sides in Supta Baddha Konasana. It's also an option to support your thighs with cushions or bricks if you're taking this option. And then let your palms turn up towards the ceiling. Enjoying that gentle opening through the shoulders and the top of the chest. Coming back to the breath. Breathing in slowly and fully. Taking the breath all the way down into the belly. And then breathing out. And as you breathe out, it's letting even more of that tension unravel. Let your navel sink back down towards your spine as the lungs empty. Enjoying that feeling of being supported by the floor and by your props. And also enjoying that feeling of being connected to your body. Feeling of being present, mind and body connected. Pausing here for as long as you like. And when you're ready to come out of your rest, turn the palms of the hands down to the floor. If you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, you can use your hands to help guide your knees back up to centre. And then we'll gently push down into the hands and the forearms to start to lift the chest. Walk your hands back to push yourself up. And slowly come back to your comfortable seat. Just taking a moment to adjust from your rest. Notice how you feel after your practice. Thank you for letting me guide you today. Namaste.